What a deadline day it was for Celtic. We've got the full breakdown of the new signings, the fees, and exactly what the club paid. But the main story today, fans are absolutely losing it over one transfer link that nobody saw coming. Plus, we've got your referee and VAR news ahead of Wednesday night and a blooper from Celtic's own announcement that you are going to love. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. So, Celtic moved fast on deadline day to secure striker Junior Adamu, who has arrived on loan from SC Freiburg. The club confirmed at the time that the deal includes an option to buy, giving them flexibility heading into the summer window. Now the full details of the deal have come out. Celtic paid an initial loan fee of £432,000 to bring the forward to Glasgow, and if they decide to make the move permanent at the end of the season, the option to buy has been set at £4.3 million for the 24-year-old. But Adamu wasn't the only striker to arrive this window. Thomas Kvankara also joined Celtic on a loan deal with an option to buy. If the Hoops choose to keep him beyond this season, the fee is understood to be £7 million, and the Czech forward has already made a positive early impression, registering a goal and an assist in his first two appearances in green and white. Following the confirmation of Adamu's signing on deadline day, Celtic then announced two further arrivals. Benjamin Arthur joined on loan from Brentford FC, while winger Joel Mvuka arrived from FC Lorient on a loan deal with an option to buy. That flurry of late activity brought Celtic's January business to a close, with 5 players arriving in total. And here's the thing, every single one of them came in on loan agreements. The first edition of the window actually came earlier in January, when the club moved to sign Araujo while Wilfried Nancy was still in charge, a player who has already shown some promising signs in his early appearances. Now for the main story, as Celtic fans are not happy. The club has been linked with a move for free agent midfielder Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and the reaction online has been absolutely brutal. Celtic entered the January window needing several fresh faces to boost their title prospects as they aim to catch league leaders' hearts and stay ahead of rivals Rangers. The board signed 5 players while the market was active, but did not spend a single transfer fee, with each one arriving on loan until the end of the season. Deadline day saw Junior Adamu arrive at Celtic alongside Benjamin Arthur and Joel Mvuka, but there is a real feeling among supporters that Martin O'Neill has been, and these are their words, hung out to dry by the people above him. The Hoops remain in the market for a new midfielder, even though Benjamin Nygren is set to stay after late interest from Nottingham Forest, and the majority of supporters are raging at who they are reportedly going after. So here's the situation. Oxlade-Chamberlain has been without a club and training with his former side Arsenal since leaving Besiktas last August. The 32-year-old made 50 appearances for the Turkish side in 2 years, having previously spent 6 years at Liverpool, where he won numerous trophies. Sky Sports' Anthony Joseph reported that Celtic are interested in signing him following the end of the winter window, and that news has gone down about as well as you'd expect. One fan said, Oxlade-Chamberlain could have been signed at any point since the summer. If he was going to be the answer, there would have been no need for it to be another post-transfer window scramble. It reeks of desperation and complete failure. Another simply said, is this a wind-up? And someone else put it bluntly, another injury-prone, washed-up player. Celtic must be the worst-run club in Europe. One supporter added, this is just the Iheanacho situation in the summer all over again. What are we actually doing? And another said, pathetic. Nicholson should be out the door tomorrow. Now, Oxlade-Chamberlain is undoubtedly a talented footballer, but his career has been seriously hampered by recurring injury issues, and he hasn't played a competitive match since last May. He's also arguably just past his peak at 32 years old, especially as a central midfielder, and that is why so many Celtic fans have serious reservations about signing him on potentially hefty wages. Interestingly, Football Insider also revealed last September that Rangers were exploring a move for Oxlade-Chamberlain themselves, but a deal never came to fruition, so the idea that he could end up at Celtic instead of Rangers has certainly added fuel to the fire. In other news, Celtic make the trip to the northeast on Wednesday night to face an Aberdeen side currently operating under interim management. Form has been mixed for the Dons in recent weeks. A convincing 6-2 victory over Livingston briefly suggested some momentum, but that optimism was quickly checked at the weekend. Many expected Aberdeen to build on that result away at Kilmarnock, only for the hosts to run out 3-0 winners. Celtic, meanwhile, have not always been fluent in recent outings, but results have largely continued to come. Across Martin O'Neill's 2 interim spells in charge this season, the Hoops have dropped league points just once. That came 10 days ago in a draw against Heart of Midlothian FC, and Celtic will be keen to make sure there is no repeat as the title race tightens. The SFA have confirmed that Wednesday's match will be officiated by Don Robertson, assisted on the touchlines by Daniel McFarland and Colin Drummond. VAR duties will be handled from Clydesdale House by Grant Irvine, with Gary Hilland assisting. Robertson has been a familiar figure for Celtic this season, having already taken charge of 5 of their matches. Away from Celtic Park, the pressure is on elsewhere too. Hearts are in action on Tuesday night against St Mirren, while Rangers host Kilmarnock on Wednesday, so it's shaping up to be a very interesting midweek in Scottish football. In other news, despite the late finish, Stephen Welsh's deadline day return to Motherwell was completed with just 2 minutes to spare. It was a tense end to a deal that went right down to the wire, but the move was concluded smoothly, and the Motherwell manager had some very kind words for Celtic afterwards. Welsh had begun the season on loan at Fir Park and quickly established himself as an important figure in a Motherwell side, enjoying a strong campaign. The Steelmen are pushing for European places and currently sit just 5 points behind Celtic in fourth. Celtic recalled the defender earlier in the window after exercising a clause included in the original loan agreement, but the cover they needed arrived in the shape of Benjamin Arthur, who joined Celtic on loan from Brentford. Arthur has made 3 senior appearances to date, and, while inexperienced, he provides additional defensive depth that allowed Celtic to give the green light for Welsh to head back to Lanarkshire. Motherwell boss Jens Berthel Askew was pleased with the outcome. He said on the Motherwell website, "We welcome back Stephen with open arms, knowing that he has unfinished business to attend to here with us. The dialogue with Celtic has been good and transparent all the way through, and we are absolutely delighted that we found a solution that sends him back to Fir Park to continue his development with us." With the paperwork finalised in the closing moments, Welsh is now set to resume his season where he left off, aiming to play a key role in Motherwell's push for Europe. Lastly, this one is a bit of a laugh. Celtic's January transfer window came to a close late on deadline night, with the club confirming 3 arrivals in the final hours to bring the total number of signings to 5. But the biggest saga of the lot came with winger Joel Mvuka, and honestly, it was a bit of a rollercoaster. So here's what happened. Mvuka completed a medical earlier in the day, but concerns raised during that process forced Celtic back to the negotiating table. With time running out, the club moved quickly to restructure the agreement and ultimately secured the right winger on loan with an option to buy, rather than the permanent transfer that had originally been planned. Now, Celtic were due to announce Mvuka, and they did go ahead and put out the official announcement on social media. But here's the blooper. The club tweeted out the announcement, and in it they said, quote, "We are delighted to announce the signing of Norwegian winger Joel Mvuka, who has joined the club on loan from Lorient until the end of the season, subject to international clearance, with the club having an option to buy. Welcome to Celtic, Joel." The tweet goes out, fans are celebrating, and then the club has to quietly walk it back because the paperwork wasn't fully signed off yet. Classic Celtic. But in the end, the deal did go through. Mvuka is a Celtic man now. Attention now turns to the manager. Martin O'Neill is due to face the media this afternoon ahead of Celtic's trip to Aberdeen tomorrow night, and his assessment of the window, particularly the late scramble to get deals over the line, will be listened to very closely by supporters. That's all the latest Celtic news for today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment below with your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. Hail, hail.